Hi and welcome to CBN4's Primetime News for this evening. My name is Alian Christopher. Well, first up tonight, persons in the farming industry, especially those who make their living vending. We know that agricultural produce is now at a major setback. Well, Hurricane Maria did not only damage or destroy our farming lands, but it destroyed and completely devastated the Roseau market. We saw what the Roseau River itself did to the city of Roseau. Kamisha Dominic has more.
It really pains my heart as I am here, almost in complete isolation. What used to be the Roseau markets, I can tell you, it is my favorite place to come and get my produce, my fruits, every single day. And right in front of me, we would have vendors selling produce, and at the back of me would be the livestock section. It's almost too much for me to bear right now. I really cannot believe that this is what remains of the Roseau market. There are absolutely no vendors, no produce, no movement, and this place was the meeting place. Everybody would be at the Roseau market. You would surely find one person here at least, and right now it's just complete, total abandon. No one is even using this area. So right, if you do a 360 around me, you can see here where they would sell the meat stuff, the pork. There's still heaps of garbage. You would be able to get to the other side of the market, further by the fisheries. You'd be able to pass through here. There was an opening right here, and it's still totally blocked off. I can tell that some work has been done to clear the space, but I can imagine how high the debris must have been in there. I am hoping that at some point we'll be able to relocate the market. I don't know what will happen here, but definitely very soon I will need somewhere where I can get my fresh fruits and vegetables and local produce. And the dust here is so thick, it's very thick. It's about 5 feet tall. If I just look on the side, you would see the dust about 5 feet tall. So I really want to get out of this area as soon as I can, so I can have to put back on my mask. It doesn't feel safe. It's pretty unsanitary to be here. So I'm going to go on the other side of the market, closer to the fisheries area, to show you what it looks like. I really want to urge us that if we have no business to do in the city of Roseau, please do not come into the city of Roseau. It's unsanitary, it's very dusty. The dust is about almost 6 feet thick if you just watch the wind take up the dust. And we're just reporting here at the Roseau market to just show you what it looks like on a normal day before Hurricane Maria. All on this side we would have vendors selling their produce. So this is the back of the Roseau market, and still a lot of work to be done. Heaps of debris is stacked in front of me, and the fisheries department is also a part of the Roseau market where they sell fish, and I can see it's totally destroyed, totally destroyed. Just reminding you that I am Kamisha Dominic, reporting here in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria in the city of Roseau at the Roseau market.
It is now evident that a majority of the business places along the E.O. Highway was badly devastated. But what about the public places? The bus stops, which provide some form of shelter for persons who commute into the city, some of those bus stops are now badly devastated, and some of them can only now provide little or no shelter. Marissa Stedman tells us more.
Bus stop. 2 words normally used to signal when someone wants to get off the buses. That is Dominica's means of public transportation. This is the bus stop along the Eo-Liblan Highway leading into Roseau. And almost every community of Dominica has one of those. Most of them, like this one, has been badly damaged by the passing of Hurricane Maria. With very few public places left to shelter the rain and the sun, Dominicans are gonna have to get used to wearing a lot more sunscreen and having to carry their umbrellas a lot more often. Marissa Stedman, CBN4 News, Dominica.
And some news of promise. WeChurch, which is one of Dominica's longest existing supermarkets, are now making preparations to reopen its doors. CBN4's outside broadcast team witnessed the cleanup that is being undertaken by some of the staff members to prepare the building for business. Kamisha Dominic tells us more right outside WeChurch.
In the city of Roseau, HHB WeChurch Super Center is one of our main shopping centers. Over the years, have served Dominican public with grace and with every single thing. It's very hard for me to even try to get my words out at this time, because the place I knew as HHB WeChurch Super Center now is totally and completely, the shopping center area is completely destroyed. Inside, it's a lot of mud, but they're clearing out the mud. There are no shelves, so from the front you can see straight to the back. And even the ATM machine that shoppers and NBD shoppers would use, even this ATM machine somebody seems to have hammered through it. And there were reports we heard, nothing is confirmed, that heavy looting happened at the HHB WeChurch Center. We're not sure of it, but as you can see, the place, there are no shelves, and it's just the staff, the supervisory staff. I can see from where I'm standing that they're cleaning up, and it seems that it looks like they're trying to get things back in order. But as I can see, I'm standing in the way of a truck that's coming to clear the debris and the mud from inside HHV, which is Super Center. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to see if I speak to one of the supervisors who are currently cleaning, to see if we can get a feel from him about the whole situation with HHV WeChurch. I happen to get Margaret Francis, manager of the IGA Super Center. I can see he's not in his ordinary clothes, which I'm accustomed of seeing him in his uniform, his IGA shirt and pants, and taking care of things on the floor. Whenever I shop at WeChurch Super Center, I always see him on the ground. But now, in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, and I'm seeing him here cleaning up, he's muddy, and he's doing all he can with his boots to get this place cleaned up almost about 21 days after Hurricane Maria. Good day to you, Mr. Francis.
Hi, good day. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and I just want to say thank you already, because I see you're cleaning up.
Yes.
I know you don't have much time. You have to get back to your work. But I want to ask you, will Dominica see WeChurch Super Center reopen and serve in the public?
Definitely, we will reopen. As soon as we get every place cleaned up, we'll let the customers know what date we're looking at, and we'll have the place open, because that's the favorite shopping center for every Dominican.
I am a WeChurch shopper.
And that's true, I see you there every day.
Yes. So what challenges are you facing now with all of that mud, and I can see flies in there? Yeah. You have no and like from where I'm standing, I can take a very scandalous stench from where I'm standing. Yes, so how soon, what challenges are you facing right now?
Right now it's a lot of mud. A lot of mud. We had mud, water all like 4 feet high. So you had to get rid of all the mud, all the silt and stuff that's there. So once we get that done, I'm not sure, maybe like in the next few days, they should be ready. And then to redo our electricals, because a lot of stuff got water in it, compromised.
Yes.
So we redo the electricals, and then we look at our stocking, and then we have the place reopened again.
And you heard it, that HHV WeChurch Super Center will be reopening for the public, so that's something we can already begin to look forward to. It is my shopping center as well, and it's a lot of work to be done, but I'm sure over time this work will be done and we will get back this place as it used to be. Let's hope for that. My name is Kamisha Dominic reporting.
And one department that surely deserves a rest after all of this is over would be the Dominica Fire Station. Well, the Dominica Fire Station, along with its members of staff, have been working tirelessly along with other emergency departments to ensure the safety of all Dominicans. Kamisha Dominic was right here on the scene to tell us more about the Dominica Fire Station.
I am here at the fire department with the fire chief, Mr. Josiah Dupuy, and we all know that the fire department has been stretched thin in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. So I'm here with him. He's going to tell us more about the activities, the schedule of the fire department in this very critical time in the aftermath of the severe hurricane which we faced.
We have had a very impressive turnout of fire officers. By virtue of our job, we are required, as a matter of fact, to report prior to an event like a hurricane.
Yes.
That is part of our disaster plan.
Okay.
And it is just the norm. So I'm very, very impressed with the turnout. I'm very impressed with the demeanor, the attitude of fire officers as they turned out that evening, and in our response from that night, in fact, up until today. I am so proud to have this privilege to lead these men and women. They have really wowed me many times before, and once again, post Maria, I am very, very impressed with the type of work that my officers have been engaged in.
I'm very pleased to hear that, and that is the response I was looking for. I'm very pleased with it. Now, in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, what was your schedule like? What was the schedule like for the fire department?
Well, normally we work on a 24 hours on duty, followed by 24 hours off duty.
Yes.
That is predominantly the way fire officers work here in Dominica.
Yes.
Immediately after Hurricane Maria, we went into a full-time operation, in the sense that there was no time off. We just kept going at it. What we did is we divided the men at various stations into teams. As a matter of fact, there were stations that were, because of fallen trees and so on, men could not go off duty. So men, basically the officers remained at their stations and were assigned by teams and would go out to different missions by teams. So that is one of the things that we employed very early. Here at headquarters we had 4 teams, and those teams would be deployed according to the request that we received. I should say that it was during the storm, when we had a little bit of a calm, that we started getting calls to actually go out and assist people.
Okay.
And
can you tell us one of your most severe cases that you encountered?
Yeah, one of the severe cases was the collapse of a hurricane shelter not too far from where we stand now, at the grammar school. And while some of the occupants themselves helped others, our fire officers went out there. The building actually collapsed on some of the occupants.
Oh my God.
You can well understand, in the dark of the night with the wind still,
yes,
not at its worst, but still going at it.
Yes.
The officers went out. We went over at Pong also to rescue some
Pong
persons.
is located where?
Pong is just across between Kennedy Avenue and Hawk Street. And we had to rescue some persons, take them to the safety of the financial center on the ground floor, so that they could wait until daylight. We were here, and a couple with 2 children walked in with cuts and bruises. And we had to take them in and give them some warm clothes and made them some tea. This is what the fire service is about.
I'm shivering as you say this.
Like I said, you know, oftentimes those are untold stories.
Yes.
But this is really, this epitomizes what we are about. We go out and assist people who are in distress.
Yes.
And we are happy to be able to be of service.
Now I saw the fire trucks everywhere. I saw them delivering supplies. I saw they carrying lots of different stuff. And so, do you think you have enough vehicles, or is there that still a high demand for your vehicles? Almost about 21 days after the storm.
Yeah, I should say really that with the type of event that we've just experienced in Hurricane Maria, there is never going to be sufficient preparation. Preparation is important.
Yeah.
My point is this though, that the deficiencies that we had before is exacerbated by a storm of that magnitude.
Yeah.
The trucks that you refer to, the fire engines, it's really 2 of them that are functional here at headquarters.
Wow.
And these trucks have done a tremendous job.
So right now I'm here with Mr. Leta, the PRO officer of the fire service, and he's just going to give us more info about the foreign agencies who have come to assist the fire department?
We have been, I would say, positively impacted by foreign agencies who actually operate from the fire service. And we could talk about the St. Lucians who were here with us, assisting us in different areas, in communications, firefighting, basic firefighting work, also EMT work, and
what's EMT?
Emergency medical technician.
Okay.
And we also had some who did therapy work with us. After the St. Lucians left, we have other persons from the Scientology group who does that massage therapy also for fire officers and anybody else.
Well, that's great stuff.
Yes.
Now tell us about your Colombian team.
Yes, well, we had also some what we call lumberjacks.
Yes.
And these are guys who handle chainsaws and cut wood. And we had a team from Colombia, they were Spanish speaking, and also we had a team from the UK.
Yes.
Here with us. And as a matter of fact, the UK team, one set left and another set has joined us again.
Okay.
And they're continuing that work, going around the island, doing chainsaw.
So how much work you would say have been done in terms of percentage, and how much work you would say still needs to be done?
Well, if I would have to put a percentage to that, I would say about 30% of the work has been done.
And you have about 70%?
And we have about 70% of the work to be done still. And like we have told fire officers here, our work actually post-hurricane has only started.
Yes.
Because we did the rescues, we are assisting persons now, but basically after all the clearing is done, then the fire service is going to be very deeply involved in cleaning this time, the more than ever. So that's going to be a lot of our work for the next 3 weeks or so, I would say. But the foreign agencies who have come, they have assisted tremendously. And we want to appreciate that. And all foreign agencies who operate from the fire services, we want to say thank you very much to the international community for assisting us in that way.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we close off?
Well, before we close off, I would like to actually say thank you very much for all the fire officers around the island who have been in each station, and every station on the island were negatively impacted by the hurricane. Either we lost roof, we lost equipment, and if you look right at our back, this is how we have most of our equipment. We sleep right here we are in the engine room, no roof, that's where we sleep. But the fire officers have continued to maintain our vigilance. Also, in terms of fire.
And our emergency, like emergency calls.
We respond to all emergencies every day.
Yes.
Ambulance.
Yes.
Fire calls.
Yes.
And yesterday we had 2 bushfires and 1 house fire, which at the end was not actually, well, there was fire in the place, but it was fire being set by persons.
Even if you're outstretched, by other means, you still take care of your core responsibilities.
Yes, we do that.
As much as you can. So I'm happy to hear that.
And we would like to caution the community though, in terms of burning debris. You have to be very cautious when you're doing it.
Yes.
We want to advise persons, do small heaps.
Yes.
Do not just go set alight all debris that is there, but do small heaps and burn them.
Yes.
Would like persons to preferably burn during the day also, rather than in the night, because if it is in the night, you cannot monitor it. And we want persons to monitor that burning whilst they're doing it.
Yeah.
I will say thank you, Commissioner Dominic, for that special report. And meantime, in other news, amidst the havoc caused by Hurricane Maria on September 18th, sporting activities still continues. The Dominica Volleyball Association was one of the organizations in line at the Woodbridge Bay Port to travel to Trinidad. Well, the president of the Dominica Volleyball Association, Albert Loblack, says that they are not going to allow the effects of Maria to discourage the team and their efforts to engage on the games and competitions that they have practiced for many weeks. Marisa Stedman met up with Albert Loblack, the president of Dominica Volleyball Association, right on the Woodbridge Bay Port. Let's hear it.
Although Hurricane Maria has halted much of the activities in Dominica, it hasn't stopped the Volleyball Association from competing in the third round of the FIVB World Championship held in Trinidad. I have the president of the Dominica Volleyball Association here. He's going to give us a little more information on that. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us. Can you tell us your name, please, and your position?
Albert Low Black. I'm the coach of the team and president of the association.
And can you just give us a little more information? We just met you here. We found out that you're traveling. What are you guys going to? Are you going to a competition?
Yeah, we're going to the third round of the World Championship qualification tournament. Actually, before we were supposed to take part in the second round. I was supposed to be held in Antigua, but then we had 2 hurricanes pass, so it was pushed back. And then when Maria passed, they sent us straight to the third round because we ranked second in the OECS. They sent us straight to Trinidad to the third round. Yeah, so that's where we're going to. The competition starts on Friday, and we'll be playing against teams in our group like Mexico, Trinidad, and Costa Rica.
Okay, despite what has happened with Hurricane Maria and its effect, how are your teammates? Are they psyched about leaving?
Well, yeah, we've been training for a while. It's almost a year we've been in training, but on and off and so on because of the different things that have been affecting us. And even if we didn't have a court, because our court was destroyed, and we were able to get some practices in before we travel. But we also we're also going to get a couple of days to do some training when we get to Trinidad on the indoor facility and so on. So that's going to work out well for us.
Is there anything that your teammates were lacking that you think that you would need assistance with?
Well, like everybody else, everybody suffered from Hurricane Maria. But we're coping.
I'm enjoying the positive spirit. There you have it from the president of the Volleyball Association and coach. Thank you for taking the time to speak to CBN4.
You're welcome.
And CBN4's outside broadcast team spent some quality time at the Woodbridge Bay port, where we noticed that the port itself had its fair share of damages by Hurricane Maria. We met up with the Chief Executive Officer of the port, Mr. Binwa Badwill, who stated that the certain parts or numerous parts of the building had its fair share of damages, but efforts have since been made to continue works and to offer services of the port. The port now serves as Dominica's main port of entrance and exit, making it particularly busy during this time of recovery. Marisa Stedman tells us more.
You can see evident around you, the Woodbridge Bay port has suffered immensely in terms of the infrastructure from our administration office. Woodbridge Bay was spared in terms of the fact that we had done the government of Dominica had spent a significant amount of money to repair the pier, and that seemed to have been held up pretty well. And so we were able to utilize it immediately once the sea subsided to be able to bring ships in to discharge relief supplies, medical supplies, and as you can see now, we've opened up with the commercial aspect, and so we have vessels bringing in container loads of commercial activity back into the port.
And is the port expected to serve as a ferry terminal for a while?
Well, the ferry terminal is being served there. As you know, the ferry terminal was severely damaged. We are working on the ferry terminal at the moment to bring it back into temporary use. We need to provide them with some measure of safety and better comfort, despite the fact that the ferry suffered damage as well.
And would you be able to tell me what Caribbean islands are the ferry going to?
The ferry is going to Martinique, Guadeloupe, and also on certain days to St. Lucia.
Now, CBN4 understood that just days after Hurricane Maria, persons could come here to travel to other Caribbean islands without a passport. Is that true?
Well, I can't speak for immigration, but you would have to speak to them directly. But I know that several accommodations were made based on the criteria set by the immigration officials.
Are you aware of the estimated number of people who have left Dominica?
Well, I would say on average we have well over 800 plus persons on a daily basis live in the country. Since Maria, based on the number that I see moving on the ferry. We had the airports with persons going out as well, but because of the roads, and it took a little time. And now that the aircrafts have opened up commercial traffic over the last couple of days, we expect to see movement of persons coming in as well as going out. Clearly, we're challenged. All the port facilities were struck by one way or the other, but I'm happy to say that Douglas Charles, after all the reconstruction efforts after Erica, the runway, taxiway and apron held up pretty nicely, and we were able to use it for relief, medical supplies, and now commercial traffic into the airport. So the airport did suffer some flooding from the river end on the side of the terminal, but that was all cleaned up days after Maria, and we are in fact moving persons at the Douglas Charles Airport. Canefield, we did very quickly with Canefield to clean up what we could. Canefield suffered damage as well in the terminal, especially, and the tower was damaged. We are working with temporary facilities now at Canefield, but we're moving persons in and out of Canefield because the ports basically is the economic gateway to Dominica, and we're trying our best to serve the public interest in the best way possible given the circumstances.
With regards to the airport, is Liat one of the companies that are using the Douglas Charles Airport?
Yes, Liat has published a schedule of 3 days to Barbados, 4 days to Antigua. They will improve the service as the demands. And we've been talking to Winia, we've been talking to Seaborn. Seaborn came in yesterday to do an assessment, and they expected to follow through with flights from Puerto Rico. So we are talking with the airlines, we are doing the things that we are supposed to do, and we are in fact trying our best to see how we can facilitate the process. We're doing everything possible because we know what the situation is. The entire country has been impacted. We have not been spared, but we have to be able to assist in rebuilding the country. So all the building materials, all the medical supplies, all the things that are necessary would either come by air or by sea. And that means that we are interacting with it, and we're trying the best that we can to facilitate it.
And I've got just 2 more questions for you. Number 1, is the port functioning as normal? And are there any fees that have been waived because of the passing of Hurricane Maria?
Okay, no fees have been waived. There was a temporary waiver immediately thereafter in terms of the embarkation fees, but that has been reinstalled because we now have our systems back online. We're fortunate to have our computer systems back online with our IT department, and we are able to function. So we are functioning in terms of our fee structures are there. So we're trying to levy those charges because we can't continue to operate paying labor and doing all the things that we're doing without having a charge being applied. But there are things that we are following the government's policy directives in terms of supplies that come in for relief, supply that come in through donor agencies. There are special conditions that we are putting based on the policy directions that we get, and so we're facilitating that process as well. The port, as you know, we would like to be as normal as we were before Maria, but in the circumstances we are doing the best so that we can facilitate trade as well as passenger movement. We know that the businesses are depending on the cargo that is coming so that they can again rebound their business into commercial activity. So we're trying to facilitate that. And we know that persons with their families want to extend to their families. So we're saying to the persons who wish to send personal packages to their families and friends, like barrels and boxes, that they can do that, because we are accepting cargo now via the various shipping lines to be able to ensure that persons can help their families to get moving again, so that it can become a little easier, not only on their families but on the dependence on government to be able to supply them with the necessary food and other items necessary. So if the families out there who are sending barrels and boxes wish to do so for their families, they can do so without any difficulty.
And this was the Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica Air and Seaports Authority, Mr. Binwa Badwell. Marissa Stedman, CBN4 News, Dominica.
And this has been CBN4's Primetime News for this evening. Remember, if you would like to help Dominica back on its feet, you can go to GoFundMe online and see a list of organizations you could donate to. Donations are also welcomed at Red Cross Dominica and organizations such as DADA. My name is Alan Christopher saying good night.